Hey, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Horror Debate. I am Jeff Rowdy Jake here, and alongside me, as always, Michael Mandy.
And this week we're going to be reviewing, hopefully, the final chapter in the Halloween saga until the Rob Zombie reboot from 2002, Halloween Resurrection.
Proof positive that the more you polish a turd, it's still a turd.
Yes, it is.
Oh, let's just get right to the chase, Mike. What are we dealing with here?
First
of all, we're having to deal with Busta Rhymes acting.
Yeah.
Okay, but beyond that, what are we dealing with plot-wise?
Plot-wise, well, the first, 10 minutes of the film is kind of like the footnote to the last film with Jamie Lee Curtis and what happens to her. So, and then a whole new movie starts all over
Which basically
again.
was the coolest part of this movie.
Yeah, it actually was. That was worth... That was it.
You mentioned the scene where she falls, and I thought that was really cool cinematography, man.
Yeah.
That was done really well.
Usually when a person falls in movies, they fall, but you never see them actually hit the ground.
Yeah.
Because they land on an airbag.
Right.
This one, she was going to land on a bunch of trees. And by the way, we didn't spoil anything. If you saw the 25 Years of Terror thing, they show you, and they tell you. She's only in it for the first 10 minutes. They tell you that. So.
Right.
You see she's going to land on a bunch of trees, but then you see her go through the trees, and the trees kind of break away, and you see her keep going down and hit the ground.
Right.
Which I thought, wow, that
good
was a pretty
stuff.
good effect.
Good stuff. And Jamie Lee, you can always count on her for dramatic acting. I mean, she
solid
always looks scared. She looks she looks the part, Mike.
Yeah.
It
was a wimpy ending, though.
Unlike every one of the people in the second film in this film.
Yes, the second film was Michael Myers meets Dawson Creek.
Yeah.
And
with Busta Rhymes there to annoy you at every turn.
Oh, boy.
How many MFs did he drop throughout the flick?
Yep.
I mean, come on, Mike.
And Tyra Banks.
See, I was thinking this was more like Mikey meets MTV. Mikey hits the VMAs.
It was
Mikey beats up Tommy Lee after Kid Rock. I don't know. I don't know.
Trying to bring in the MTV generation or the reality TV generation.
Mike, this couldn't have been written any worse. I mean, we could have sat down with these same characters and made it entertaining.
Yeah.
This was bad.
Well, it's funny because we were just talking about how the Halloween 666, or as you call it, was a pedestrian direction type film with nothing. And then H2O,
water.
The director, you could see he knew what the heck he was doing with the music and the motifs going on and the camera movement and all the style. The director's style. And then this one jumped right back into the old boring direction. It was directed by Rick Rosenthal, who did Halloween Part 2, which was a decent follow-up, but it didn't have any of the,
Oh, Mike, come on now.
Part 2?
No, well, Part 2 was good. Well, sort of.
That's what I'm getting at. Part 2 was.
Part 2 even in places kind of drug a little bit, But you were still in that same night. And you were still interested,
right?
I couldn't have been more detached from this piece of crap than anything.
There was a little bit more style and substance to Part 2 than there was to this.
You think? Oh man, I mean, okay, where to begin? Okay, first of all,
Part 2 had more going for it.
Wait a minute, let me say something nice, okay? Because it's probably the only nice comment you're going to get this entire review, okay? The surround sound in this film.
Yeah, that actually was pretty good.
That was excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, it was coming from all angles, man. You heard the little creaks and little pops.
Dog barking in the corner.
There was music sometimes it would swirl around you. I was digging it. I liked that.
This one had,
Now, if you could just turn off all the video,
and
if you could turn off all the lines that Busta Rhymes did.
Yeah, I was going to say delete Busta Rhymes.
If you could just do that and kind of rewrite the script to not be so stupid, it would be okay.
It wasn't that it was stupid. Okay?
Oh, it was stupid.
The concept was all right. The basic plot of the film was a bunch of these people go into the old Myers house to film a reality TV show, kind of like that show from a couple years ago on MTV called Fear. Do you remember that? Where all
Yeah.
the people running around with little cameras
And
strapped
Celebrity
above their ear?
Paranormal, which I really dug.
So it was kind of that, and Michael Myers, you find out, has been living under the house for all these years, and he doesn't.
I got friends like that.
Yeah, he doesn't like people coming into his house, and so he takes them all out. Interesting concept, worth exploring, but it's just,
I don't know if it was worth exploring for 90 some odd minutes. I don't know.
the first 50, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first 50 minutes of this film was just talk,
And it wasn't even interesting conversation. You couldn't have cared less about these people.
No, they were all cookie cutters.
Yeah, these were like dog treats to a pit bull.
Except Buster Rhymes. But the problem was he was just irritating.
Oh,
He was bad.
Oh, somebody give me.
This is why you don't have your teenage children be involved in the casting. You know, Mustafa Akkad said that, oh, Buster Rhymes, Dad, put him in. So
No,
you don't
Mike,
do that.
Mike, this is a shame. It's a shame that it had to go this route. I mean, obviously, you got to make it new and fresh and exciting for all the teeny boppers out there, I guess, right?
Yeah, and they could have.
But they didn't, but they tried. It was a failed attempt.
Yes,
at trying to do something new and cool, and it didn't work. And really, it mostly just annoyed me.
Yeah.
From the not from the beginning, because like I said, okay, let's go back to the beginning, okay? Let's talk about that for a second.
The beginning of what? This movie?
No. Yes,
or
this
the whole
movie, but the beginning. I'm talking about with the Jamie Lee Curtis and that sort of vibe, okay?
Okay.
When he was in the asylum.
Oh, okay. The beginning of this movie.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, the beginning of the movie, right? You with me on that? Okay. Okay, so he's in the asylum, right? And Jamie Lee's in there, and he is pursuing her, but he's also had some a little bit of what would you call it? Concern for another human being. Not concern, but he handed his knife over.
Oh yeah,
to the guy who was obsessed with all the serial killers, right?
Yes,
who was dressed in the clown outfit, which I thought was interesting because we've had some clown things happening in the series, right? So I thought that was a nice little like a little twist,
homage.
Not just an homage, but a little twist on the character where Mikey's looking at him going,
"Hey, clown, cool costume.
Hey,
here you go. Here's a present."
You feel me. That's what I got out of that. Is you feel me.
Okay.
You know where I'm coming from, And I thought that was a really neat little thing written in there.
Like I said, the whole beginning part of this was actually kind of cool.
It was very cool. It set it up perfectly.
It's too bad they couldn't just snip that and then paste it as a director's cut to the last H2O.
Mikey headbutted himself through a door.
That was kind of stupid.
Okay, but it looked cool. I mean, he came up to the door. He
headbutted
the door in half.
And then the next scene with faraway shot shows him walking in, and there's a big old outline on the door, kind of like Wile E. Coyote smash.
No, it wasn't like that. Come on.
It was pretty close to it.
He headbutted the door. It broke in half. He came storming through.
The door didn't break in half. He busted a hole in the center of the door.
No, it did. It split right down the middle, Mike. Just like your pants when you bend over. Come on. No, it was a different take, Mike. That like I said in our new Halloween debate, the Rob Zombie flick. We kind of went back in that flick to the big ominous physical presence, and that's what we were kind of missing in this series. So I thought that was kind of neat to kind of get back to that. Okay, that was my point on that. Okay, is that he smashes through the door. He's not standing out there jiggling the doorknob. He's not out there trying to pick the lock. He's not out there trying to bust through the little see-through window. He's going straight through the freaking door, okay? That's what I'm trying to say, is that I thought that was cool. I thought it fit the motif, it fit the character. It was pretty happening, okay? Beyond that, this movie blew.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's a one-star film.
Yeah, it's a one-star.
It's a one-star film. It had enough to get out of the bomb category, but not much.
Yeah. The ending part when he's in the house and this one girl has a what do you call those things that does the text? Was that a
it was kind of like a crackberry, kind of like a but not really a crackberry. I think it was more like a what do you call them, a sidekick?
I don't know. I don't have one of them. But anyway,
like
she's getting these text messages on this thing from someone who's watching it on the internet. So the guy's telling, he's in the house. He's out there. Go there.
Was that Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, dude? I mean, I could have sworn.
It could have been them.
It could have been them, and it might have been funnier.
But that was actually kind of interesting. The girl trapped in the house and the guy on the outside watching the cameras that have been mounted in the house telling her he's coming up the stairs. Run, run, run. You know,
Yeah.
that could
Yeah.
have been better.
Yeah.
I think this script had the right concepts and right ideas. It just needed some tweaking and then a different director.
I liked the double Michael Myers get-up, too. I liked where Busta was busting in his Michael Myers get-up, and the real Mikey was in the house, and they're looking at each other
Trailing
like...
him.
They're looking at each other like, whoa. You know? If you could have had Keanu in anywhere in the house, when those two guys were looking at each other, he would have said, whoa. Okay, just thinking, you know, new possibilities here, but there just isn't enough here.
No.
If for us, seasoned Halloween people, seasoned Halloween veterans, I'll even say, this movie is almost comical. Was that Julianne Moore's daughter, by the way?
Yeah,
I mean,
what was
the
this
redhead that got naked in the basement, that fell through the wall with all the fake props. You know, the arm that had the Made in Taiwan tag on it and stuff like that. Is she anywhere related to Julianne Moore?
I don't know.
You know, I mean, she looked dead on like her. She
Daisy McCracken.
well,
was her name.
that was probably the director's name because he was obviously on some McCracken. Okay, but I mean, what?
Yep, no.
No relation.
No
huh?
relation. No.
Wow. Well, she sure looked like her, boy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
But so anyways, 1-star film, and I think because of this film, it really showed that the series needed a reboot from Rob Zombie.
Well,
or not just from Rob Zombie, but I mean the series needed to be restarted.
yeah, but see, here's the thing. Here's what disappointed me, Mike. Okay, we just, I mean, besides all of it, right? We had H2O, okay, which was totally going in the right direction.
Yeah, it was a bright spot, but I think it was a bright spot to end it with.
That's what was my point. Now, then they tack on this, which is like complete cheese.
Right.
Right?
You blew your strong ending. You know?
Oh, now what do? Right? You get the remake from Zombie.
Yeah.
They got to make something to bookend this thing, Mike.
To bookend what, the Rob Zombie now?
No, to bookend this mess.
Okay, well, this mess I think is just there where they said, "Oops, crumple it up, throw it away, start over, do over." And here, Rob Zombie.
I would love it if
do-over.
Zombie would do another one. I would love it, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Rob wants to do it. He took enough crap doing this one, from you. Okay, so. Yep. If he even just listened to the debate, he's like going,
well,
I'm not doing it because of Mr. Mandy.
Well, but you know what? If he listened to me, he'd say, gee, there were a bunch of plot holes that could have been filled. I will learn from that and make a better film next time.
Well, and you know what? He probably would.
He probably would, because he did learn from The House of a Thousand Corpses to a better film, which was The Devil's Rejects, which I liked.
Which, and again, in my opinion, took it up another level to the Halloween. So I think he's progressively getting better. I understand that he's working on The House of 500 Corpses, which is the prequel.
They moved?
The prequel, well,
Oh, they haven't built up their
the
arsenal
prequel
yet.
to House of a Thousand Corpses. So, I don't know that we're going to get another Halloween, but, I just feel terrible about the series ending in such a mess.
Well, but the series was rebooted by Rob Zombie.
Well,
so now the
but not
series
really, because what he was doing was reimagining the beginning of the story.
Right.
What I'm saying is the way the story is ending.
Well, but it already was a mess because you had the whole
I don't
daughter
care if it
thing.
already was a mess.
You
I
had-
want something new that fixes the mess.
You had the Michael Myers burning in the hospital at the end of part 2. Then you had the mess that was the witches, the masks, and that was a mess. And then we go back
in
to
Halloween 3,
part
right?
3, and then part 4 we have the daughter running around, the little girl, and 5, 6, and then 7, which 6, which was we had the man in the black boots with the tent.
Oh, don't even
tattoo.
talk to me about that, Mike.
This series, if you're going through 1 through H2O and now Resurrection, this thing's gone everywhere. And it's about time they crumpled it up the paper.
You're missing my point.
And said do-over.
You're missing my point.
I'm sorry.
My point is that after this flick, yes, they've screwed up, okay?
After this one.
After this film, I want somebody to make a film to wrap something up with some dignity in this series, okay? I don't want it hanging at this point in the story. Yeah, it's all well and good that Rob Zombie went and created this new thing that, went back and retold the story from the beginning, okay? I want the last bookend. I want the end bookend, okay? Maybe he could do that. Maybe they could get somebody to do that, not Rosenthal.
But they will just continue the story that they did from the Rob Zombie film. They won't say the Rob Zombie film didn't exist and carry something on from this.
But the Rob Zombie film is a different envisioning of the first, and
it's kind of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film.
I
from
know what you're saying, but
and the Next Generation with Matthew McConaughey and all that silly stuff.
But I know what you're saying, but you're not feeling me on this, okay? Because I want
feeling you is not one of my
new material. I want new material, not retreaded material.
Yeah,
I want new material that ends this story, this saga, this now mess. I need Tom just to get through this thing, okay? It goes in so many different directions. I need a freaking GPS to get me from movie 1 to movie 9 or whatever we're at right now. Movie 8, I guess this was, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, Mike? I want something written. I want it well written. I want it well directed. I want it well acted that wraps up the Michael Myers saga. So it's nice that Rob went back and did that, but I want the end.
But then if they wrap up the Michael Myers saga, there'll be no place for the Rob Zombie story to continue.
The Rob Zombie story could totally continue. It could be like almost like a separate entity, okay? And like a separate series, okay? It doesn't have to follow what's already been done.
So you're saying 2 parallel storylines?
Yeah,
competing?
It doesn't have to. Okay, ideally what would happen is, Mike, is that somebody would come along, maybe Zombie, maybe somebody else, and create the the end of this story, which I've repeated to you 14 times.
I know.
Okay, now, that's ideal. But what they could do is they could get somebody completely different, not Rosenthal, not Zombie or whatever, and create the true next movie after this Busta Rhymes flick, okay, to wrap up the entire saga. See, what happened is that they had 1 and 2, then the story cut. They went to 3, completely different, failed. Came back with 4, completely different again. Went 4, 5, and 6 on a whole different tangent, right? 7 tried to go, back to old school. Mm-hmm. Okay, then 8 tried to go completely new school. I want something that just ends the story. That says what happens to Mike.
Okay.
Oh, you get that now? You see what I'm saying?
I do get that.
Okay, because what Zombie did was he looked at the original and went, "Oh, I want to give you some prequel. I want to give you the lead up to it, and that's all well and good. I can dig that. I don't think he's going to do another one personally. Okay, I wish he would, but I don't think he's gonna. So I would like that end to the story because I feel like right now, especially with the way this one ended." This
was a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like...
Although, the last scene on this movie, we were saying in the other, the six worst ending ever. This one actually had a cool ending.
It did have a cool ending, but it was an incomplete ending.
Right. It was, yeah.
And I would like that next movie to wrap it all up.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. 1 star for both of us, though,
well,
right?
Absolutely a 1-star film. Abysmal acting. Terribly put together. Busta Rhymes just... I don't have anything against Busta Rhymes. He does. I'm sure he does his rapping just fantastically. But the acting thing,
90% of his lines, he had his eyes closed and was looking at the ground like he was trying to remember his lines.
The acting thing ain't happening. Okay, so it's 1 star all the way.
Yeah. All right. I'm Michael Mandy. He's Rowdy Jeff. We'll talk to you next week, and we're no longer going to be doing the Halloween movies.
We made it, Mike.
We made it through all Halloween movies, and you even got a little bit of recap on the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to you next time at the Horror Debate.